We're not originally from Africa. We're talking about West Africa in particular.
Yeah. Anybody that's of those that the Bantu were originally not from that continent, from the region of the Middle East. That's our ancient heritage from. The temple, the priests, the menorah candle stick. Alright? The keeping the high holy days like the Sabbath day, wearing the long garments with the fringes on it. That was us. That was us, the holy people. Alright? That was us, man. Alright? That's our culture, holiness.
Okay, so we're originally from Middle East. Then we toured Africa.
Yeah, then we migrated there because of different captivities and persecutions that we were suffering underneath the other nations. Other nations, when you look at our history, other nations are constantly trying to overtake us and captivate us. And millions of us dispersed into neighboring countries, not just Africa, but around the world. But mainly into Africa. That's where a large portion of us went. Alright? And formulated like the Ghanaian Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, the Timbuktu, Mansa Musa. I'm pretty sure you heard of these titles. These are all Israelites. Alright?
And this is what happened before the white men came to West Africa.
Right.
And took us.
And they're not white. When you look at them, what colour they really? Now this is going to mess you up even more.
No, someone get me the umbrella in there. Salakia. Umbrella's gone, man. Alright, no.
Just press that button on the tip. Yeah. Now when you look at a so-called European, what colour are they? Think about it, look at them when they talk to you, what colour do you see in their skin?
It's the one right there, man.
You only got any precepts?
Yeah, got precepts.
For as long as I've been on this earth, I've seen a white man as a white man.
Right, this is...
He's been hypnotized, man. Oh, none of us have been on that hypnotization.
That deception, you know, the serpent deceived the nations.
Yeah.
Your speaking, bro.
Oh no, okay. But before we read out that book that showed you we migrated into Africa.
Hosea 4 verse 6, listen. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Alright? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
There you go, man. That's why our people are getting killed, you know, gangs and drugs, this, that, and the other. Alright? So we migrate. Get Luke 21 verse 20. Luke 21 verse 20. Because the Heavenly Father's Son told us there'll be a time where Israel is surrounded by our enemies. So flee. This is what I'm going to show you. So that's the reason why we fled into Africa. And we always did that, man. Mary and Joseph, where did Angel Gabriel say to take them? Africa, Egypt, which is in Africa. Simple. When the Assyrians came, many of even the northern kingdom fled into Africa, some of them.
Luke 21 verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem come past with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
And that was the Romans. The Romans are these so-called white people, right? Edomites. But shameful enough, you had our people in the Roman armies. We were the best warriors. See?
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
There you go, man. So we had to flee, and the Romans cordoned it off. Because some of our people got trapped in a place called Masada, and you had Romans on that side and that side. They ended up starving and eating their own children, man. Cannibalism. But why did the Lord do this? Alright, because our people are rebellious to His law, man. Again, Isaiah 30 and verse 1. All of this, it might not sink in now, but in the future, Lord willing, it will sink in. Alright? When my friend told me about 15 years ago that we're Israelites, I ignored him. Then 4 years ago, the Lord brought me to truth.
This Isaiah 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, And that cover was the covering of not of my spirit.
There you go, like Hurricane Katrina. When our people were suffering there, what were they saying? They were saying, where's FEMA at? They didn't ask for the Heavenly Father and His Son to come to them, all right? Because our people are rebellious, man. See?
That they may add sin to sin.
Sin is a transgression of the law, all right? See?
That want to go down into Egypt and have no ox at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
And our people are more or less, wherever they're scattered, they have, like Brazil, they got this new guy who's being a president, all right? And he said that the slave descendants in Brazil are not worth reappropriating. But then when they had a rally to support him, who was there? The black woman, man. Supporting a guy that says that you Israelites are nothing and you're not worth living, but our people were supporting this guy. See?
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
That's it. You can't trust in this place, man. This place is the land of our captivity, punishment.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
All your rappers, entertainers, and our people in general, man, they're not really looking for the Heavenly Father. They're not doing this. You know, Romans 13 and 11. Alright? So that's Romans 13 and 11. That's why we have to come out here. Alright, and teach this word, man. Now you talked about the customs that we have, right?
Yeah.
One of the customs the Israelite has, circumcision. I'm not going to ask you if you're circumcised, but you know, in Sierra Leone, if you have a son and you do not circumcise your son on the 8th day, they look at you funny, man.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's even in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
So that's even though they're different, well, it looks like different countries. Sierra Leone, Ghana,
They're the same people.
they're the same people, and they maintain the same custom. So that lets you know something. You gotta think to yourself, wait a minute, I thought they're different countries. I thought they're different people. Why is it that they all have the same custom? Because they're the same people.
That's right.
Which means they have the same origin, the same ancestry. The same ancestry. That's why they have the same custom. Even though they might speak different languages. If you look, their bloodline is the same lineage. So this is something you need to look into. Now hold on, we might not be what they say we are. Maybe we are what the Bible says we are. We're actually Israelites. You gotta think about this, we're not black. Black is a color. Hello, it's a color. Your jacket is black. Your skin color is brown. So why are you calling yourself black? Melanin is brown now. Melanin is not black. Melanin is brown. Melanin. That pigmentation is brown. Not black. No one is black. No one is white. No one is orange. You know? You're never gonna see a tangerine man walking on the road. It doesn't exist.
There's pink, we don't.
Right. Alright. We're gonna get to that.
Used to think you were, brother. Used to think you were.
So Martin Luther King was not black.
No. He had brown melanin. None of us is black. We're not black people. See, this is part of the deception.
So why did Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, fight for our people as black people then?
Yeah, because they were messed up in their head. They didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
They were messed up in their head too. And even though they looked like leaders, strong, they had no idea what the hell they were. They were confused themselves. Like Malcolm X, he was messed up.
I'll say one thing, bro. How could you be two things? How could you be African and then be an American?
That's two different
That's two different things right there, man.
That's a double barrel.
Yeah, African American, because we were brought to our ancestors. Obviously, we were slaves.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Taken to America.
And I can understand it, but you gotta break these things down. When you break these things down, you deal with it from a core perspective. It don't make sense because
We're
number
originally
one,
from Africa and we were
no,
enslaved to
listen.
America. That's the truth.
Right, the landmaster Africa, but really the landmaster Ham, really originally. But let's do it like this, right? Here, what I'm saying. Now, Africa was named after a so-called white man, right? America was named after another so-called white man.
America Vespucci.
America Vespucci. So when you calling yourself African American, what are you saying? White, you Edomite, Esau and Esau.
That was an Edomite words. The word
Yeah.
African comes from a so-called white man,
Yeah.
a Roman so-called white man
Yep.
called Africanus. And he renamed that continent
Yep.
Africa, named after a Roman so-called white man.
Yep.
The landmass that you call America, right? The United States, the whole North, Central, and South America.
Yep.
Named after a man called America Those are two, they're America and Africa.
Edomites.
Two white man slaves, so-called, right? So, that's not what we are. We're not black, we're not colored people. Our ancestors never called themselves colored people. They never called themselves black, never called themselves Negro or niggas or Jamaicans. Okay?
Well, I'm certain they never called us colored people, but I'm certain about that. But I'm certain they called us black.
Yeah, Esau.
There are no other two scripture about they called certain prophets and teachers Niger. Remember that verse you read to you? They called us that. They called us nigger. They called us black. We don't call ourselves that.
Colored as well.
Then Niger.
Yeah, that's
It's Latin.
That's Niger.
Yeah, there's that Latin. That's a Latin word which means black. Back then, during the time of the Roman Empire, what language did they speak? What language did the Romans speak? What language did they speak? Latin. Latin. Right? And how do you say Negro or black in Latin? Niger. Niger, right? That's how you say it. That's where the word Nigeria comes from. All right? Or that's where the word nigger derives from. The Latin word Niger.
Well, I don't see it. I don't think it's for what it says. It's spelled N-I-G-E-R.
Right.
Yeah. The word nigger is actually spelled with 2 G's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's Niger.
Right. Right. But you have to understand the word nigger derives from the word Niger. That's where they got the word nigger from. From the word, that word there that you just read. It comes from the same
The
word.
word nigger comes from the white man when they came to Africa and enslaved Africa.
And black too.
That's the Latin way of saying nigger
And the Romans used to call us
or
that all the
negro.
time.
The prophets and teachers were being called niggers in the Latin way. That's the Latin way to say nigger,
Or black.
right? Or black. So the prophets were not so-called white people. It was us. 2,000 years ago, the prophets, the teachers, the Christians, the real true Christians, the first Christians was us. The real original Christians was us. It was never them, so-called white people. It was us. The people of the Bible was us all along. Okay? So this is what you need to first understand when you see us out here. We're not Muslims. We're not Muslims. We're really, the Bible is our foundation book. A book of our prophecy and history. You understand what I'm saying? And we're trying to get across to brothers like yourself. But you need to come out of this deception, this mind control of we're black. Alright? You have to read it.
I'll tell you what, bro. You read because he's not in here. So, you read it and I'll say a couple things and I'll wait till you have a lot. I don't have my Bible.
Right, Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Yes, it's about time because and the thing about it is, man, the thing with you, like how old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, okay. He's a big man. Okay. Yeah, he's older than me too. I thought he was a young man. He looked like a young man, but he's older. But yeah, the thing about it is that we've been hypnotized, man, and we're not getting on you, but we're not making fun of you. We're just trying to make a point, and it's not just you; it's all of our people, damn men. We used to be like that. We used to think, okay, I'm black, but when you actually break when you actually break these terminologies down, it doesn't apply to who we are. So when you read about our people in the Bible, you ain't never gonna find the nation called black people or the nation called white people. You're not gonna hear that. Now, if we're talking about the so-called white people, then it's gonna make mention of the nation of Edom. So everybody has an actual name. Every nation has an actual name to them. You understand? So because to just call yourself black, where's the specifics of that? There's no specifics. There's no depth. So you just call yourself black. You understand? So these words that we're calling ourselves, where did it come from? Like this brother said. He said, where did these names come from? Because we didn't call ourselves that. So who called us that? The so-called Europeans. They called us these terminologies and we went with them. This is why even our ancestors back in the 60s, not 60s, but the 1900s, the early 1900s, they were calling themselves that, or pretty different, Negro at the time. So they were close some time and just kept changing. It went from Negro, and then it went from black, and then it went from so-called African American. They changed the name. So if they're able to change, so if they're changing our names like that, then who are we truly?
Yeah,
who are we
we
truly?
were called African Americans because we were
I understand, I
obviously
get that.
enslaved by the white men.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that, but you gotta understand is that we're not. I'm not African American. Okay, where you from? What's your country?
I was born here.
Oh, you was born here.
Yeah.
But your parents are Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So even you, so you're kind of similar to you're similar to me. Because my people, they don't know where they really actually come from. Nor does you.
You sound like you're from America, right?
Yeah, I'm from America, yeah. So.
Well, you don't see yourself as African American.
No, because that's something that the so-called white men call it. Matter of fact, they describe it.
Why do you say so-called white man?
Yeah, because he's not actually white. He's not actually white. If you look at so-called white people, what are you going to see? Okay, you're going to see somebody that looks pink, or they may range from like a red color. Look at them. They're not white. Now his shirt is white. Look at his shirt. You don't want to turn around. Anyway, listen.
Psalms 44, verse 14.
Right.
Thou makest us a byword among the heathen.
Right. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen. So what is a byword? A byword is when you call yourself something other than who you really are. So in actuality, instead of you being a Jamaican or West Indian, you would be of the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, from the nation of Israel. That's your culture. That's who you actually are. Okay, not Jamaican, not West Indian, because West is a direction and Indian means savage. So they're calling you, what is it? They're calling you West savages, man. Savages of the West. Go on, bro.
Okay, what if I was to say that if we were in our original land, which is Africa, we would not be having this
Matter of fact,
conversation?
brother, get that, the original land. You're gonna have to get that. Yes.
Because if we were in Africa, we would not be having this conversation.
What's that?
If we were in Africa, we would not be having this conversation.
But you know, we can have this conversation because what I like to tell you, where was we before we even went to Africa? He just told you.
Hey, and I'll tell you, I've been to Nigeria because my people is really from Idoma, Benue State, in Nigeria. I went to Lagos when I was 25, 26. And there was an elder Igbo man, and he asked me, he said, do you know where we originate from? And I said, yeah, you came from Israel, the Romans kicked you out. And he said, yeah, you told me that. He said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the people of Igbo, not all of them, but there are certain elder ones there that know that they're Israelites. They know that they're the people of the Bible. But you have a lot of them people there that still think that they're Africans. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still under that deception. They're still praying to the white Jesus and everything. Alright? But this is Galatians 4 verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
That's the original land. That's where we came from. We came from the land of Jerusalem. Okay? Now, basically, like the brother was going into, the reason why we went into Africa was all due to the different persecutions, the state. So when the Romans came in and besieged the city, it was said that we would have to go towards the different parts of the earth. All right, that's what the scripture says, and that's what happened. Matter of fact, give me that in Matthew 24. How Shai said, "Flee into the mountains," because that's what happened. We fled into the different governments around the world, and we became. Let's get it again. Okay, we became likened unto those people that we were scattered amongst. And by being the case, because we've been here so long, for centuries, we started to identify with the names that our enemy have given us. Okay, go on.
Luke 21 verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem come past with armies,
Yeah, what armies? The Romans. Go on.
then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Right, but knowing that the destination is not. What is the destination when the armies would come through and storm throughout the city? Okay, kill the people, take what they got and everything. But while this is before that happens, flee ye, get out of the land of Jerusalem and go somewhere else. And that's what happened. Go on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains,
Yeah, go on.
and let them which are in the midst of it depart out,
Yeah.
and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Right, because that was a part of the curse, that we would be scattered abroad outside of our land into the four corners. So you got Israelites in West Africa. Okay, you got Israelites in different parts of Europe. You got Israelites in Jamaica. You got Israelites in America. Okay, South Central America. Okay, so it started from that point on, and then because of our lack of power, we were pursued by these nations. Okay, the nation that I'm talking about is the so-called white people. When they pursued us, we started going all over the place, man, like we are right now. So go on.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
Right, and that was the prophecy that was going to be fulfilled. Give me that in Deuteronomy 28, verse, I believe it's 64. About the shot. As Moses was teaching, not teaching, but Moses was actually prophesying to the nation of Israel at the time about what was gonna happen to them if they didn't keep the laws. Go on.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
That's exactly what happened. Go on.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Exactly. So it's like you go to Brazil, right? And you tell a Brazilian person, right, that he's not from Brazil, or the name Brazil doesn't match up with him. They're gonna think you crazy, because they've come to identify with that name. Their enemy has pretty much called them that name for centuries, and it's become at one with them. You understand? And this is what's going on with you. We're showing you that you're not black, and it's not your fault. You know, you're not at fault because you don't see what we're talking about. What it is that we've been programmed to be under this influence of the system. Okay, so in this system, the so-called white man, he identifies with us as being black. So therefore, I'm going to brainwash you to call yourself black. All right, and like I said, when you call yourself black, what are you calling yourself? Deaf. Because that's what the terminology black goes back to, or the word.
And then thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Right, the Christian churches. You got our people there. They're heavy into the churches, man, in the Roman Catholic churches and all of that stuff. And they don't even understand who they're worshiping. They're actually worshiping a different God altogether. And this is why when you talk to the Christians, or the black Christians, or whoever Christians, they'll say they believe in the Bible, but they don't keep that one high holy thing in the Bible. So they believe in a different God altogether. And then you got the ones who are progressing into Islam. All right, you're going.
Right, because remember how I read you the scripture about they call us a byword in the proverb. Remember how I read that? Let me read it one more time. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead you. They call us a byword, right? That's like a symbol of power. You can label things. When your slave master has captivated you and it now has the power to label you.
Exactly.
That's like a form of power. show the power that Esau, the Europeans have over us. They have the power to define who we are. They're able to define us and say, listen, you're just black. He's able to label us. You're not like a product, right? And you put a label around it and say, this is this, and that is that. That's the power that they had over us. To like a brand label. They're able to brand us and say, this is your African Americans. You're black. You're just a nigger.
Yeah, they labeled us as African Americans.
You're just a Jamaican. You're just a Caribbean. They were able to brand us however they liked, however they saw fit. You're just a West Indian. You're just a savage, a Western savage. Right, go over there. Just stand over there. Yeah. They had the power to define. They had the ability to have close bywords, man. All right.
They labeled Black Americans as African Americans because they took black people there.
You not understand
to America.
You have to understand what I'm trying to say is that all these words, African Americans, we're not Africans and we're not Americans.
We're not Americans in the first place. We were originally Africans.
No. That's we were taken from that continent.
Yeah.
All right. But we don't originate from that continent.
I mean, I don't originate from this country. I was born in this country.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
We don't originate from that continent. We're living there now. Millions of our people are there now, right? You agree?
Yeah.
But we don't originate from that land. We're not indigenous to that land. We're not indigenous to the continent of Africa.
West Africa.
From West Africa, whatever part of Africa. We migrated to that continent because of persecution and slavery. We dispersed.
No, first you said West Africa. You weren't talking about any part. Like
yeah, West Africa predominantly.
Yeah.
Right? But we dispersed everywhere, right? Because of persecution and slavery, right? You know about the Jews and this diaspora?
Right.
Diaspora. We dispersed everywhere.
So if we're not indigenous to the continent of Africa, then who is?
I told you the Somalian, the Sudanese,
yeah,
the Namibian, okay, what's it? The Ethiopian, those people there, the Zulu, those people there, those are the indigenous Hamites. Those are Hamitic people. All right, we are Shemitic. We look different from them people. All right, we've been deceived to think that we're African because the white man doesn't want us to know who we really are.
So you're saying that
because we are very special people.
Okay, so you're saying we're not different from the Zulus.
We are different from them. We're different from the East Africans.
In terms of what?
We look different from them. We're a different lineage of people. This is different. When you see a Somalian, can you identify yourself with them? No, they're different.
Well, this is Psalms 44, verse 11. God has given us like sheep, one for meat, and has scattered us.
Okay, what about Zulus? You say that Zulus are what are they? Black or not black? What?
The word black. We need to forget about this word. Alright? Because we're not black.
Even they ain't black,
even no one's black. No one's black, no one's orange, right? No one's green. Alright? We have national identities, national identities. Alright? Ancient nationalities. The Arabs, they're called Ishmaelites. We're called Israelites. The so-called white race, they're called Edomites. Alright? The indigenous people of Africa, like the Somalian, the Ethiopian, they're Cushites or Hamites. Okay? The East Indians are Edomites. The Chinese are Moabites. You understand? You have ancient nationalities. The ones that we have now, those are not the ancient ones. You understand what I'm saying? We need to identify ourselves who we once was. We are special people.
You see what you gotta go by as well. You gotta go by what did the Most High call us? What does He identify us with? That's what we have to go back to. Not this black man, African man, white man. We have to run that man. Because that's all Esau's philosophy. That's the so-called white man's bullshit. Now, like the brother was saying, the term Indian, Black, African, Chinese. Hey man, Esau named all of those other nations, all of them other nations those names. Okay, they didn't name themselves that. Okay, yeah. So I tell you what, brother, get me on Isaiah 60. I don't speak like that. Yes. You know, it speaks about the covering council. Isaiah 60.
I'll go to a precept for that.
Yeah? Get your precept. But you and Isaiah already know.
This is Deuteronomy 14 verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth.
But you know though, brother, that's not, I don't want to get into that. I want to dive into the whole identity of it, man.
Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
Right, the darkness shall cover the earth. What is the darkness? White man, black man, African man, Chinese man, and all in other things as well. That can include these different philosophies, these different religions. That can also include in the darkness. But we're mainly dealing with the identity. Go on.
And gross darkness the people.
Yeah.
The Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Right, so it says gross darkness. Because people don't, everybody out here don't know who they are. Including the East, what is it, all of the West Africans, the East Indians, the so-called white people, the Arabs, they don't know who they are. Really, well, I'll say this. The Arabs do know who they are. They know that they come from a man by the name of Ishmael. In the Bible, okay? They know this. Ishmael. Originally, they know that their fathers go back to the Bible, okay, which is Ishmael. Now you have even the East Africans, Somalia, Ethiopia. They know, I'm not saying all of them, but I'll say a good handful of them know that their fathers go back to the line of Cush or Korah. You understand? So, you got certain nations that know who they are, but the majority of them don't know who they are, okay? But our people in particular, which we're dealing with, they don't have a clue who they are. They're going by the labels that was put upon them, all right? But what we're doing right now is we're taking away the comfort gospel. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. What's going on is right now we're showing you, we're pretty much breaking away the false names that you were given and revealing to you the truth of who you really are. Go on.
Yeah. That's the point of that one.
Yeah, that's
I've got another one. Isaiah 59 verse 10. You grope for the wall like